Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together. Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together. Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
All right, let's shine together. Real talk for real people. You heard my intro. Let's shine together. Thank you for shining with me, Kendall Lanice. Welcome to Shine. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you, and thank you some more. A little bit about me. For those that don't know, I am a certified transformational expert, life coach, and speaker, author as well. But my main purpose is to motivate. Hence, I go by the name of Lady Motivator. I am here every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Pacific. You can find out about Shine on livingtruelivingyou.com. As a matter of fact, you can go right to livingtruelivingyou.com to listen live. You also can hear me where all podcasts are played, including Spreaker, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and so many more amazing outlets that give us podcasters an opportunity to be heard and to get some goodness out into the podcast universe. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. So if you search for me on your iPhone or iPad or Android or computer, just look for Shine with Kendall Lanice. That's KENDELLLENICE. And you can subscribe. So when you subscribe, you'll get an alert when all my podcasts are being aired. And the beautiful thing about doing a podcast and having them logged is you can check out past shows. I must say I've had amazing guests and amazing shows over this past year and a half. I've done radio shows before, as well as, having a co-host and doing other media outlets. I had a show called Conversations with Kendall Lanice a few years back, and that was a visual and audio, and that was my first official radio show. And then I had another show, Life Enhancement Radio. I did that with another host. And now this is the third one, Shine with Kendall Lanice. So I am pleased, and I'm learning a lot about this podcast world. And I think it's so cool that I can sit in the comforts of my own space and talk to you all. It does get a little odd because I'm looking at the controller, the computer, and I'm talking to you. It's just amazing. Isn't technology amazing? But again, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and make sure you tell your friends and family about Shine. As a life coach, it's important for me to educate, elevate, and entertain you because I believe in having layers, and I think that people are, as a matter of fact, I know people are not one-dimensional. I know I'm not. So you like to learn. You don't want to be beat over the head with motivation. You want to laugh. You want to have fun because that's how we live our best lives. So that's why my intro says real talk for real people, because that's what it's about. I'm a real person who cares about what I do professionally. And at the end of the day, I am a real person. And if I can connect with you all, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All right. On today's episode, wait a minute. How can I forget? But on today's episode, we are going to be talking about summertime fineness. Summertime fineness, weight loss, fitness, and healthy living. But before we get into the show, let me start with my life note. Be right back. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right, this week's life notes. So let me tell you, if this is your first time tuning in, life notes are just quotes or sayings or, memes that I've seen, mainly just quotes to take you through this show, this week, and the rest of your life. And sometimes the quotes are by amazing people, and sometimes they're by me. And today's life note is by me. I always talk about living your best life. I've been talking about that for many years. Even now, there's a song, living my best life. And I think it's important to live your best life. So my life note for this show is, you can't live your best life if you are not here to live your life. Again, you can't live your best life if you are not here to live your life. That is a life note for today's show. And it, of course, ties right into our topic, which once again is, I'm shining my light on summertime fineness, weight loss, fitness, and healthy eating. And I want to add healthy living. It's important to do just that. It's almost summertime. I see, on Instagram. I love Instagram, you guys. So, follow me on Instagram at k.lenice, Lenice. I think that's my favorite social media platform, although I'm on all of them. So find me on there as well. But going through social media and going through Instagram and particularly, everybody's talking about weight loss. I'm looking at photos of people who are losing weight, people who are getting heart healthy, people who look amazing for their age. So, a fun fact about me, among everything else that I do, I love photography. I'll do events. I even have an Instagram photography page, and I just love photography. I've had an eye for it for many, many years. And I help out a friend, shout out DJ Chaz. We do the photo booth. So I love doing the photo booth. He has an amazing photo booth where people, at different events come and take photos. But his photo booth is like no other. Long story short, I did an event with him Sunday. And it was an older crowd, 60 and older. Of course, you had some younger people and I guess in the mix as well. But mainly, it was some 60-something-year-olds. And when I tell you their bodies were right and tight, my birthday is June 17th. I'll be 48 on my birthday. Yep, the big 48, chapter 48. And I love looking at older women and looking at how they keep themselves. Do they have a lot of butt and gut, or are they, trim and slim? And not necessarily to be healthy. Of course, we know that you don't have to be thin, because there are a lot of unhealthy thin people, but be healthy for your body type. And when I said some of those women had it going on, they had their little bodycon dresses on and they were looking good with a T. And I was telling them, I was like, you guys look good for your age. And they were telling me their ages, and they asked how old was I? Was I 30 something? Too kind. I'm like, no. And of course they said I didn't look good. I mean, I did look, I looked, younger than my age. I looked good for my age, but I see the differences in my age. I see the differences on how the weight kind of stays on in certain places. And I kind of see the difference in my body, and I'm sure you guys see the difference in yours. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to have a guest talking about her amazing weight loss, which I saw on Instagram. Monica is one of my favorite NE for lifers, new edition for those of you that have been under a rock for the last 35 years, NE. And I've seen her transformation, and she's going to come on about 10:15 to talk about her transformation. If you're listening to the playback, that's 15 minutes into the show she'll be on. All right, so let's get into the show, shall we? So everyone wants to be fine and look the best in their clothes, right? I'm sure, at least I know I do. And you also want to live, right? I think I want to live. I know I want to live, and I'm sure you do as well. Well, at least I hope so anyway. But do we want to do what it takes to get the bodies we want? The answer is no, not always, because everybody doesn't feel like working out. Everybody doesn't feel like putting the French fries down. Everybody, doesn't want to change their eating habits and eat more vegetables and, eat less fried foods and eat less red meat or whatever you're eating. Nobody wants to change what they're doing or what they're comfortable doing. And a lot of people say, of course, food is comfort. Some people, when they're stressed, they eat. When they're happy, they eat. When they're sad, they eat. And of course, getting that body summertime fine. Now, fellas, this is a show for you too, because you want to be summertime fine too. I would think so. But do you want to do what it takes? It's often difficult to get started. And as a life coach, I'm all about goal settings. I teach it and I do it and I try to live it. And with goals, I believe in having bite-sized pieces when it comes to goals. If you're looking at the big picture, sometimes it's difficult to see. If you say, I want to lose 50 pounds, that might seem like a very hard, I was going to say mountain to climb, but you might not be climbing a mountain yet, but a mountain to climb. But if you say, okay, I want to lose 5 pounds within the next 2 weeks, that might be a little doable. I want to lose 5 pounds in 3 weeks. That might be doable. And then, of course, your ultimate goal would be the 50 pounds. But first, this is the thing. In order to goal set, in order to reach your goal, you got to get started, right? And that's the first step, is really getting started. And that's the hardest thing to do. But experts say if you do something 21 days, it becomes a habit. But it's just that first step. Trying to get what you need. So first you have to decide what your goal is. What is your goal? Is it to lose weight? Is it to get off of medicine? Is it to change your eating habits? Is it to look better in your clothes? Is it to be heart healthy? Is it to look good on the beach and have that swimsuit on or those swim trunks on, fellas? You have to decide what your goal is, because everybody's goal is not the same. You got to figure out, okay, what is my goal? What am I trying to achieve by my weight loss or my eating, healthier than I'm eating? You have to decide what it is that you want to do. And then once you do that, then we can go from there and we can move on from there. And even as a life coach, a lot of people have a lot of different things they want to do just to improve the quality of their lives and just to really change their old habits and to try to create new habits and trying to live better and live longer, whatever that may be to them. It could be to lose weight, get another job, change careers, going back to school, finding a relationship, leaving a relationship. They want to stop procrastinating, whatever it is that will help you get to your goal of living your best life. And people are struggling with their weight. People are struggling with eating habits. People are struggling with being on all kind of medicines. Like some people take 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 medicines, prescriptions a day. That's a lot. My daughter is a lead pharmacy tech, I might add. And she sees people get medication all the time. And you guys know with medication, just by changing your eating habits and just by exercising, you can get off of medication. You can cure illnesses just by getting up, getting moving, and getting healthy. So it's important to do that. WebMD says you don't need to go to the gym to get fit. We know that, right? You don't need to go to the gym. And unfortunately, a lot of people think, oh, well, I can't work out if I don't go to the gym. Well, if you eliminate that gym piece, if you don't have gym equipment or if you don't have a membership, you can eliminate that. And it also takes a financial aspect away that's getting in the way for some people, because I personally want to start doing Orange Theory. But do I want to pay $180 a month? I hear it works. I hear it's excellent, and I'm definitely going to try it. But $180 is steep a month, especially if you're not going to be committed and if you're not going to go, and then of course, if you want something bad enough, then you're going to do it and you're going to pay for it. That's just the bottom line. But of course, we know all gym memberships aren't that much. A lot of people attend Planet Fitness, and that's what, $10 a month. So, or they have gym equipment at home or in their apartment complex, or like WebMD says, they don't need to go to the gym. They can do things at home, but walking is free. You can walk around your neighborhood. You can go to your local high school's track. Typically, they're nice tracks. You can walk. You can create something at your job if you have a parking lot. If you're in a big building at work and there's a parking lot, you can create your own obstacle course and go walking. You can walk through the streets. I mean, you can walk. If you have stairs in your building or stairs where you live, you can go up and down those stairs. But a lot of people walk, and let me just break something down to you. Walking has so many benefits. I'm not sure if you know that, but there are so many benefits to walking. Improves heart health. It can reduce the odds of developing cardiovascular issues. It also aids in weight loss people. I know people who have walked the weight down. And also regulate your blood pressure. So if you're saying, okay, well, I don't know how to work the equipment at the gym, or I don't know what to do. If God's blessed you with legs and you're able to move, you can walk for free. You don't have to know what to do other than to walk if you are able to walk. And consider walking a blessing, because some people aren't able to walk. So if you're able to walk, then you can get going and regulate your blood pressure. It's been known that after 12 weeks, participants who have walked 10,000 steps a day reduce their blood pressure. It also fights cancer, improves circulation. Walking can make you smarter. I saw that with the increase. It's the increased supply of glucose and oxygen to your brain. It also lowers your cholesterol. It reduces diabetes. It strengthens bones. You guys know as we get older, our bones density weakens. So walking can help, prepare that and keep you strong. It boosts your immune system, builds muscle and strength. It aids in digestion. You ever have a grandmother or aunt, and after they ate, they say, well, I'm going to go walking. They were onto something because it aids in your digestive system. Prevents cognitive disorders. It slows the aging process down. It reduces stress levels. Walking improves your mood, enhances your memory. It saves you on medical costs, because think about all the things that walking cures. That will eliminate some of your medical bills. It improves your sleep. So for all those people out there that, have a difficult time going to sleep, try walking every night. You might sleep as sound as a baby. It improves your productivity and so much more. So as I told you earlier in the show, we have a guest for today's show. So I'm just going to take a quick moment and a quick break, I should say, and I'll be right back with our guest. Are you stuck in an unhappy relationship or a dead-end job? Are you having difficulty moving to the next level in life? Are you looking for love or romance? Are you looking to achieve and accomplish your goals? Are you looking to get more clarity on your vision? Do you struggle with self-esteem? Are you looking for insight, trying to figure out what you're trying to do with your life? These are some of the things I can help you with. Hi, my name is Kendall Lanice, and I'm a certified transformational life coach. For more information about my life coaching services, please visit livingtruelivingyou.com. Now back to the show. All right, and we're back. And if you're just tuning in to Shine, welcome back. If you're just tuning in for the first time, thank you for tuning in to Shine. We are talking about summertime fineness, weight loss, fitness, and just eating healthy. So without further ado, I have a guest with me this evening, Monica Kirsten. She is going to be talking about her weight loss journey. She is one of the people that I have been sweating on Instagram. Like, what did you do? Homegirl had a half shirt on the other day and I was jealous. I was like, girl. And let me be clear, she was not obese to begin with. But she was definitely bigger than she is now. So she inspired me. So I had to have her on this show today. Welcome, Monica.
Well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest tonight.
You are so welcome. Thank you for shining with me, Kendall Lenise. I appreciate you, girl.
Thank you. So you don't know how much I appreciate you. I mean, it's an honor to just be thought of and to be on such a great platform that you created. So it's my pleasure to be here tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So I was trying to think, where do I want to start with you? So when I inboxed you, just admiring all your fineness and how fly you, because you were already fly. Let me tell you, if you guys don't know, Monica is fly. Okay, she's a fly girl. I'm looking, I'm peeping. But so one day I just saw your Instagram and you definitely look slenderized. You had that slenderization going on. And I hit her up on Instagram. I was like, well, what did you do? So she began to tell me, and she started with, well, after my stroke. And I was shocked because Monica is not that old. And we know that younger people can have strokes. But when someone, close to your age talks about having a stroke, it kind of pauses you for a minute. So Monica, if we can start there, can you tell us about that and what happened? How did you have a stroke?
Absolutely.
When? How old were you?
Absolutely. So February 5th, 2018. So that was last February. I was 46 at the time. My exposure to stroke occurred many years before this when my dad had a massive stroke. That was the first time I had actually experienced a stroke happening to someone that was near and dear to me. And it affected him. It really scared me because I said, wow, this could be something that could happen to me at some point. And, I mean, you think about it, but you never really think that it's going to happen to you. So February 5th, I woke up that morning, and interestingly, my goddaughter was her graduation tonight. It was actually her birthday.
Oh, wow.
And I woke up that morning, and I remember my whole left side was numb. I couldn't move. I didn't know what was going on, and it freaked me out because I lived alone, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So I sat on the side of the bed for a little while, just really trying to take in if did I have a bad dream, did something happen. I actually allowed myself to get up and start to get myself ready for work, because in my mind I didn't really think that something really bad was going on. I just thought maybe I slept wrong or there was something else going on. Well, I actually even attempted to go to work that day. I had talked to my best friend on the phone, and she stopped me in mid-sentence and said, "Where are you?" And I said that I was actually on my way to work, and she said, "I need you to stop wherever you are, like just stop." And so it kind of scared me when she said I stopped. And she said, you're not making sense. I'm talking to you, but you're not making sense. And so at that point, that's when something triggered to me that, okay, something's really not right with me. So I was able, and in retrospect, it wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I was able to get myself to the emergency room. I would not advise anybody to do that, but I think for me, I was in denial about what was going on with my condition. But I made it to the emergency room. My blood pressure was about 170 over 110. I couldn't even think straight. I couldn't concentrate. My left eye was actually, I had double vision, so I wasn't even quite sure what was going on there. But needless to say, after getting several tests and, being there, the doctor came back to me and told me that, you suffered a mild stroke. Had you ever had a stroke before? I said, not at all. He said, have you ever heard of a transient ischemic attack? And I said, I've heard of it before, but never had one. So that was kind of what happened at that time.
So when you go to the doctor, and thank God for good friends, I want to shout out your friend, because a lot of people don't even know when they're having one. If you weren't on the phone and you weren't trying to speak or get your words out, you might have not even known what was going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just
Right.
her talking to you and her knowing you and just really hearing that something was out of whack, and telling you to stop where you are and really try to come to your aid. I commend that, because so many people suffer with no one around. And like you said, you do live by yourself. So if you didn't pick up the phone, or, you don't know what could have happened. But when you hear a doctor say that you had a stroke, like, what goes through your mind at that point?
It was just mere shock.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, we educate ourselves a lot about things when they happen,
Mm-hmm.
but when it happens to you, it just is kind of like, are you serious? Like, you really, I had a stroke, 46 years old. I'm thinking, I knew that it could happen to me, but the fact that it happened, it just was really totally just a state of denial. I just couldn't believe it. Like, it really just was one of those things that I just couldn't believe that I had a stroke. And then, of course, days after, when it was difficult for me to concentrate and attention to detail was very difficult, I actually had a little bit of what they call when you have the left side. Not like my face was kind of aphasia, like where it was kind of slightly, tilted to the left side. But as far as my extremities, I was still able to, move around. So I didn't get it where I was completely to the point where I couldn't move my body, but it was more so I got really weak on that side. So it just, once I kind of started moving around and kind of seeing what was going on, it was very clear to me that you did suffer from a stroke. Like, you are starting to have the symptoms that you hear and you see, and this is what your experience is. And again, like I said, I was really in denial about it. I really just couldn't believe, like, I didn't have a stroke. Like, this couldn't be true.
Wow,
but again,
I'm sure.
once I started moving around, yeah.
I'm sure. So what was that journey back to your regular self, so to speak? What was that like? What were some of the things that you had to do after you wrapped your mind around that you had a stroke, and then you can see the differences in your body, and you feel you're still kind of in shock because, like you said, you're 46. What was that jump start to getting back to yourself? What did you have to do in the process of getting back to Monica that you knew?
So the interesting thing to this very day, I'm still not completely myself. I thank God that He has gotten me through this journey. But it's interesting that when you see someone in the physical, you automatically feel like, oh, they don't even look like they were sick. But I still am dealing with it because my left side, I still am not completely, the strength that I had prior to February 5th is not completely back. So I continue to work on that every day to continue to build that strength. Will I ever completely get it back? I'm not sure, but I do work on it daily to ensure that I work on it. So right after the stroke, I actually went to, I had some rehab, and I had physical therapy for about 3 months. So that worked out pretty good. I actually did start regaining some strength and starting to feel more confident about me feeling better and getting better. What a lot of people don't know, too, of strokes is that it doesn't just affect you physically, but it also affects you mentally. Some people who suffer strokes have, they get either permanent brain damage or temporary brain damage. In my case, I actually, for a couple of months, dealt with, concentrating, like in terms of just being able to do one task and then try to do more than one task. Like, I had to kind of focus on one thing at a time. So after I went through rehab, I returned back to work, and I'm going to go back just briefly, really quick, prior to the stroke. So what I felt that caused the stroke was stress. I actually went through a very stressful time in my job. I worked in human resources, so that can be quite stressful at times. And also my dad, he had went through some medical issues back in 2017 into 18. So, me managing his care as well as trying to deal with work, I just gave up on myself. I put myself last. So I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating well.
I just want to pause. I just want to pause you. I just want to pause you right there.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what she said? And I want to be clear, and I wanted her to stop right at that point. She said she wasn't taking care of yourselves. Especially women. How many women do for everyone else and they put themselves on the back burner? They get to everyone else's needs, wants, and desires, and they don't think about themselves. And that's what she said that she did. So if you don't get anything from that, you have to pay attention to yourself. You have to pay attention to your needs, your wants, and your desires. And it's crucial that you do that because it could be a matter of life and death. Go ahead, Monica. I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, absolutely. That is definitely key. If any walk away, that is probably the most important key. We are women. As women, we are strong. We are fighters. We are conquerors. But one of the biggest things that we don't do is put ourselves first. And being selfish is not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
To the extreme, it's not.
Absolutely.
So I made a really big decision last year, one of the biggest decisions of my life. As I mentioned, I worked in human resources. I've been in the HR industry for about 25 years, and it was a wonderful career. And the organization that I worked for at the time, I was there for 18 years. But when I returned back to work, I could tell that the stress had not changed. And because I had the stroke, certain things that before I was really on top of and could be able to manage, I was not able to do that.
Right.
And so once I made a decision because I could start to sense and feel stress building again, but I didn't allow it to get to the point where I couldn't handle it. I went home one day and I wrote down, I said to myself, what is the worst thing that could happen to me if I left my job? Mind you, I'd never recommend anybody to leave a job without a plan or another job. But in this case, for me, I had to make some decisions about my life at that time.
Your life depended upon it.
Absolutely. So I wrote some things down and I prayed over it. And I went to work the next day and I told my manager that I no longer wanted to be in the role or with the organization.
I love it.
And you would have thought that I told them that I was had 6 months to live. They were totally not expecting it. Totally at that point wanted to try to work with me. And I told them, it's not about you guys. It's about me.
I love it.
I really appreciate the time here, but I have to do what I have to do.
I love it.
And that there was my trigger. That there was my trigger for me to start my health journey.
I love that.
I agreed to myself in writing and in prayer
I love that.
If I was to make this decision, that I had to make Monica first.
That's right. I love that. And I love that you cared about yourself enough to do that. You cared about your health. And I always talk about people want to live their best lives, but if you're not here, what kind of life are you going to live? Or the quality of life changes because you didn't take care of yourself. You didn't take care of your health. You didn't even think about your health. So I really commend you for thinking about you in that major, mighty way. I really, really do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It really was a huge decision. And, again, probably one of the biggest decisions of my life, where you think about being in a secure, career, secure job, and, the fact that you could lose everything that you had, except your self-respect. It's like, most people would say, I probably would have dealt with it. Well, I've dealt with it in different capacities throughout my career. So this particular time, I was like, no more. So What happened was after I left October of 2018, and from that point forward began the journey for the more the health and wellness. So I committed myself that I would work out every day, whether it be in a gym, walking, or Pilates, or outdoor aerobics. I was going to do something different than what I had been doing. So I would get up every morning, and it would be one of those things. And I committed. I was working out every day, no breaks in between. Now,
for how long? How long did you do that? How long did you work out every day?
For about 4 months.
Wow. It shows. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. And then I actually, now I will take a real break here and there. So it might be a day where I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to rest today. Or, you know what, I'm going to take a break today. So I will take a day off here and there now. But at that time, I was really...
You were on a mission.
Really committed.
Yeah,
I would be up at 5:30 in the morning, and let's get it done. And it really helped me because once I work out, I'm like, my head is very clear to say, okay, what do I need to get accomplished? You know, what is my plan? And starting to work the plan out that I had put in place when I left my job.
Wow. So, okay, and let's talk about, we have about 10 minutes left on the show, but I definitely want to get everything in. So what do you do as far as, what did you do? I know when I asked you, you said, I just stopped eating everything.
Right.
So what were some of the things that you cut out? What were some of the things that you implemented in your diet?
Okay, so as far as what I had cut out at that time, and I am a social drinker, so I do like to have a cocktail here and there, or wine, and so I immediately just got rid of the drinking. Like I was like, I can't drink during this journey because drinking is caloric, and I was like, I can't. And then of course I love wings. Fried chicken is like one of my staples, and I was like, okay, you're gonna have to get rid of the fried chicken, but you can have chicken, but in other ways. So, I didn't completely get rid of everything. What I did was I really just started portion and moderation.
Portion control and moderation. You guys have heard it a million times. She's a walking, living example that it worked. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So, for example, ice cream. I love ice cream, cookies and cream to die for. I would, instead of having it now, and I'm being 100% honest, I could eat ice cream every day. Like
that's
every
my
night.
mother and my daughter.
Yeah, when I was going through, I would eat ice cream every day. However, going through this path, it was like, okay, you can treat yourself this week to ice cream. I'll go to Baskin & Robbins, and I'll get the kid size one, like, small scoop, and I would eat that in a cup, and then I would be good. I was like, this is good. I don't need any more.
Just to taste it. Right, just to taste it. Right.
Exactly. So, and then I incorporated more fruits and vegetables in my diet. So, like pears and apples and oranges. If I wanted a snack, I would snack on a piece of fruit. Vegetables, eating kale, eating more collards, eating more broccoli, and cucumbers, just
green
trying
vegetables.
To find different things that I could do. Absolutely. So that really was helping. Lean meat. So, I would eat chicken breast. I would eat a lot of fish, so salmon, sea bass, things like that, where you can just really get that good omega fatty, that omega fat, that's really good.
The good fat.
Right. And then carbs, definitely slowed down on the carbs, but didn't completely get them off the menu. So brown rice, quinoa, things like that. But every once in a while, if I want a baked potato, I'll half it.
Right.
And, incorporate it with some broccoli, to kind of incorporate it with some vegetables. So, just doing things, just making smarter decisions. I don't want anybody to feel like that you have to just get rid of everything. But to start out, I would say you really want to be a little more strict. Now I've incorporated things back in. But just, again, and moderation.
Yeah, and that's really the key. I mean, everyone out there listening to this show, you know that. You've heard it. You've heard exercise and eating right and portion control and all of that stuff. And also, another key is to cut out the white food, white sugar, white rice, white potatoes, incorporate brown rice, sweet potatoes or yams, whatever you want to call them, and brown sugar or raw sugar. And cutting out white bread, just trying to implement, just try to change your diet, try to change your habits. Like Monica said, when she went hardcore, she cut out everything. And then I truly believe, like she said, she started incorporating certain things back into your diet. I don't think that you should deprive yourself, but if you're on a mission or a goal, like she said, you got to really stay focused, and you really got to see the end game, so to speak. You got to see where you want to be, what you're trying to achieve. Like I was talking about earlier in the show, what you're trying to accomplish with that. But you definitely, Monica, are an example. When I saw you, and I was like, what? Because I always tell my daughters, I can't wait till I put on a half shirt. And then I saw you with one, and I said, we're the same age, So, but I loved it, and it was tasteful, obviously. But you said that you hadn't worn a half shirt since when, Monica?
Since the second grade. I haven't worn one since I was
That is hilarious.
To join to the sub-conference,
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened, but she's not gone. I'm not sure what happened with her connection. But I laughed so hard when she said that she hadn't had a half shirt on since the second grade. But you really could. You can change your body. You can change the way it looks. You can change the way you feel. You can change the way you look in your clothes. I mean, if you have the desire to change, you can change. It's really, really that simple. I'm not sure what happened with her connection. Hopefully she'll call back. But she is a living example. She's a prime example. So I'm going to post her Instagram and all of her information so you could just take a look at her transformation, because that's really what it's about. Transforming yourself into the new you, a better you, a stronger you, a more healthier you, a more fit you, because that's what keeps you here. And if anyone else has had a health scare, Monica, you there? Okay. Monica? Okay, she's back. I'm not sure what happened, but I was just talking about, if anybody had a health scare, to really look at your story and look at your example, because you don't have to be here. You didn't have to be here. So do you have a newer lease on life now? We got about 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Do what's in your best in self-interest. You have to put yourself first. Please never think that being selfish is wrong. It's when it's done to the extreme that it's wrong. But keep yourself first, because you're no good to no one unless you're good to yourself.
Absolutely. And Iyanla likes to say, be self-full. And I love that, because it's selfish versus self-full. To think about yourself and the quality of life that you want to have and the things that you want to do, and you need to be here to do them. You really got to think about you. It's time to stop putting everybody else first, because at the end of the day, it really is about you. If you're not here, you can't do and be for whatever, to anyone else what they need you to be if you're not here to be there. And the older we get, the more crucial it is to really think about your health, think about what you're putting in your bodies, think about if you're getting your body moving, and just really, like you, Monica, you really transformed your body with hard work.
Absolutely, and anyone can do it. It's not a rocket science in terms of the process, but you have to mentally be ready to do it. And for me, what that trigger was when I began to end my career and start a new one. So anybody can do it, and I want everybody to know that it's possible. But once you are ready to do it and can put your mind and focus to it, it's done. You can exercise and eat well and see the results.
Well, thank you, Monica. I appreciate you for joining the show today to really tell your story. I'm sure you woke up some people. I'm sure you inspired and motivated some people. I know I'm about to get the kettlebell as soon as I finish this show. It's almost 11 o'clock, but I'm about to get to it. I had major surgery. Yep, because I had major surgery last year. And I really haven't truthfully gotten back into a consistent exercise routine. I don't eat a lot of things. I cut out a lot of different things. But you have, and I keep saying this, you've inspired me to do some things differently. So people always say, well, as a life coach, you know what to do, or you teach others. But with any field, you can say more than you can do sometimes. In this aspect, that's what it is for me, because I know what I need to do, and I really have to really just do it. There's nothing else to say about that, to really do that, because I want some things slenderized here and there, and I want to change, but ultimately I want to be healthy. And hopefully everyone wants to be healthy out there, because we need you here. You have work to do. And if you're still here, then you have to be at your maximum health. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Monica. Tell the people real quick, your Instagram, so they can see you.
Yes. Check me out on IG at It's Me. Check your email. Like I'm calling you and saying, it's me. Check your email. ITSME. Check yo Y-O email.
All right. Thank you so much for shining with me, guys. And remember, I'm played where all podcasts are played. Thank you for tuning in to Shine. God bless.
Shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine with Kendall Lanice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.